revenuers sailing ship. All you had to do was like turn up when the revenuers were smoked. And you had like 4 or 5 guys on the oars and it like a ton of rum. So at the Coast Guard, and then you land on a clandestine beach somewhere in surf, and the boat could take it. So it wasn't unbeknownst to the Coast Guard that this was a worthy thing to actually like use for what they thought was positive purposes, because I think that rum is a positive purpose. But the Coast Guard thought that rescuing people's lives was also a positive purpose. So they commissioned shops to build this boat, the Monomoy. And they were built in great numbers, like thousands. And then they got better ideas, I think somewhere around like maybe 70s or 80s, and they invented something called the jet ski or whatever. I don't know. Something else than a vessel that takes 8 people to launch in the surf. So all of a sudden they had like 5,000 boats like this, free to be used for something else. And what happens? Well, the millennials get old and fat and they need some exercise, and these rowing clubs gets established, and you know, they start using these for recreational use only. And that's where the Monomoy is now. It's in the hands of recreational rowers who has been ordered by the doctor to lose some of that midriff. And that's a worthy purpose. And that's how this boat's going to be used too. Let me see. More on the midriff. So the new owners of this boat is the TSCA. TSCA? Yeah, TSCA. Transylvanian, what is it?
Toxic Substance Control Authority.
Or the Traditional Small Craft Association. So that's something that wasn't here not that long ago. TSCA didn't exist here in Noyo. It's a national organization, Traditional Small Craft Association. And then along comes a guy named Dusty Dillon. Dusty Dillon, yeah. Dusty Dillon. The grand ideas and a completely irrepressible amount of grand ideas that he implores on everybody around him, including me. And at first it's just like pie in the sky bullshit. But little by little it materializes into something like this. Then he teams up with a woman, Joanna Long. Although they don't know they're a team, they are actually. I know that they are, because those two, Joanna Long and Dusty Dillon, are instrumental in creating this book.
Raise your hand, Dusty.
Yeah, that's Dusty Dillon. That's Joanna Long. Quiet fortitude and irrepressible, insistent nagging and talking created this boat. And this is now the new version of the Monomoy. The Monomoy, as far as I know, the last boat was built in 1984, commissioned by, what?
There it is.
Oh my God. There it is. Yeah, 1984. And now we have a new one. And this boat was built by a group of people in 6 weeks, and all of us are amateurs. Now, some of us have built boats before, but nothing like this. And, you know, in danger of sounding a little pompous, this is true. And you all know this saying, one small step for humanity and one big fucking deal for us. We are kind of a ragtag group of people from all over the place. Me, myself, I'm from Denmark. Isaac is from Ohio. Actually, he's from Fort Bragg, but from Ohio. Isaac is Isaac. And we have Tom. He is from Wisconsin. He flew in 5 weeks ago, and I actually drove. So we could move the boat yesterday. He drove the truck from Wisconsin, so they had the right trailer hitch.
Yep.
From Washington. Jenny is really excited. She's from Road 409.
Yep.
And Scott was from, where are you from? You're from Maine via Anderson Valley, which is also a foreign country. And Harold and I, we're from Elk.
Yeah.
Yay! So, we've had a great workshop. 31 days of work. And if the word synergy ever meant anything, this is where it appropriately applies. Because we have vastly different skills. One person shows up without any tools that are like, when you see the scraper, you would laugh. Especially you, Ron Hall. That's a scraper. And another guy shows up with 8 bags of tools. And you ask for something, there it is. Bam! And without these kind of people, we'd be standing around scratching our head and saying, what are we going to do next? But together, we filled all of the work, all of the job, and that is part of it. The diversity of this ragtag bunch here, including me, that is what created this. It's not just Dusty Dylan Joanne alone. It is the togetherness and the complementation of everybody around us. It has been a great experience, and I salute you, and I thank you, and I like to just give us all a hand. Now, if I may keep your attention for another couple of minutes, I think I should tell you something about the boat, maybe. So, this is a lap straight boat, meaning that each plank overlapped the previous one by 3/4 of an inch and it's glued together with West System epoxy. I'm not getting paid by West System to say this. It's simply the truth. And I think it's the standard. So it's plywood, but with old world building style, right? Now, the ribs are eucalyptus, and people may say, well, why eucalyptus? Because normally it would be oak. That has to do with a guy named Brian Clark, who has managed to tame the eucalyptus into something usable. It's a brutal, strong wood that I still have sore shoulder. We bent those ribs 4 weeks ago and I still can feel it, man. I must be getting old. Anyway, Brian Clark, thank you for that wood. He built up a log. He sold it to me for $5 or $6 a board foot, I forget, whatever. But the slash pile was 3 times the size of the pile of lumber in the end. Because I asked humbly for quarter sawn wood. You know what that means? It means that, you know, there's a shit ton of slash. Isn't that right, Brian? It burns good, though.
You got the best of the lot.
I know it.
It wasn't quite instrument grade pick.
We'll talk about that
Boat
later.
grade.
Oh, man. Did he short me? Okay, all of the rails here are white oak. It's air dried from Pennsylvania. It's hard to find air dried oak here in California, so sometimes we have to go to a foreign country like the East Coast.
You never called about oak.
Oh, I didn't? We don't have any oak that's worth anything out here.
Actually, we do. Yeah.
Oh, shit. We're going to talk about that later. So we got a bunch of mahogany, an interior, and then we
You
got
didn't
the
call
floors.
about that either.
He mills mahogany, local mahogany also. Local mahogany, yeah. And then redwood floors, because redwood is, well, I had it, or I thought I had it. And then I dig into the pile, and it's like a pile of shit. So I had to go to Rossi's and go begging on our hands and knees and like pay another $1,000 for redwood I thought I already had. There goes the profit.
Call you about that either.
Okay, and a little bit of madrone also, which is local.
If he got it from me, there wouldn't have been naught.
Where's the drone?
I mean, it's not conversation. Okay. So she's oiled as she stands right now, and the new owner will treat her as it wishes. Painted, oiled, varnished, whatever. But right now, she stands as bright as the day she was born. Which is in fact today. And yeah. Because I mean, we worked on this boat until 3 o'clock last night. Although the last 6 hours were mainly like working, bending the arm. You know what I'm saying? No, really. I mean, the last sawdust was made around what? Like 10, 11? 11 o'clock. So we were right on schedule. What a luck. Oh yeah, the new owners had to pair those bungs and the steering plank up there. We didn't get around to do that because I was going to do that at 7 o'clock this morning, but it was 2 hours after I went to bed, and I slept in. Now she's going to go in the water where she belongs, and she's going to be handed over to the new owners, whoever that is. It might be TSCA. I won't know until I see the name on the check.
You haven't seen the check yet?
I haven't gotten the third payment. Who? So who is the new owner?
Everybody.
Who bears the responsibility from here on out? All right, your boat, dude. Give me some money.
Right after the sea trial. Pull her to the dock.
Oh, okay. So he's just giving me the ownership of the boat until it comes back from the sea trials. That means that I get to decide who goes in the boat for the first trip, and that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. Joanna Long as the 8th rower, and Dusty Dillon. Do you have a coxswain license or whatever it's called?
I'm a pirate.
Oh, he's a pirate. Okay, he belongs in this boat then. Did you say pirate or pilot?
I take it from over here and pirate over there.
So you can do this.
I can do it.
All right. Can you take us for the first boat trip?
I will.
Can you launch the boat without my help? Because I'm still drunk. I'm not going to be able to.
I'm not seeing all that well either, but can I take a minute?